right, a lot to talk about with Mike Eppel. Let's get right to it, starting with GM this morning. Hi.
Yeah, good morning, Melanie. This shutdown showdown for the Oshawa plant. You know, the implications are huge for Durham region, as Tammy was saying. But, you know, what does the union, what can they do to keep that assembly line open, if anything? They did the sit-in last evening during the production, the evening shift at GM Oshawa. But the ripple effect of this could be pretty big, because Jerry Diaz, the head of Unifor, was talking about the 15,000 plus auxiliary jobs that all are part of the feeder line of GM Oshawa. And then if you do, in fact, do a boycott of GM products, the ripple effect on the dealerships would be negative. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Obviously, this big rally across from GM's headquarters in Windsor, or in Detroit. It'll be on the Windsor side of the border, across from the GM headquarters, where General Motors on Friday will be holding a top-level executive and investor conference talking about their future plans. And the union saying this is all about corporate greed and the General Motors plans to shift production to Mexico, and also the future focus on electric cars. Shutdown showdown number 2. U.S. President Donald Trump in that primetime address last night blaming the Democrats for the U.S. government shutdown. The Democrats saying it's a manufactured crisis from an economic and market perspective. Not much fallout to speak of, as we've seen stocks rally for several days now. More interested in the talks between the U.S. and China, trying to alleviate the trade battle between those two trade superpowers. And the talks went longer than expected, into a third day. That's leading to some optimism on the markets. We had a good day yesterday on Bay Street and Wall Street. The TSX coming off a gain of 101 points. The Dow is up more than 250. And stock futures are up again this morning. We have the Bank of Canada in the spotlight coming up today with a decision on interest rates. No change expected. Borrowers can breathe a sigh of relief that interest rates won't be going up. Again, they've gone up 5 times in the past year and a half. Some heavily indebted consumers already feeling the pinch of that. It'll be about the forecast, the guidance from the Bank of Canada. What do they say about what's going on in the economy? Recently, they've been talking things down a little bit because of the fall off in Western Canadian oil prices. Some think that the Bank of Canada could be on hold for the entire year when it comes to interest rates. And talk out of Japan this morning that Apple could be looking at cutting production of the iPhone by as much as 10%. This after the company recently warned that iPhone sales were slowing in China, some of that related to the U.S.-China trade dispute. And of course, Steve-O, Apple was at one time the world's most valuable company. It is not.
Yeah, you're saying
now,
they dropped down by how many million?
$400 billion.
Excuse me, $400 billion.
Billion with a B.
No big deal.
No, well, okay. It actually kind of is, unfortunately.
Thanks so much, Mike.
You too. Take it easy.
All right, we'll talk soon.